Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Sunday with Andy the Gabby Cabby. A little bit different tonight. No YouTube. We are just on Facebook and broadcasting to Twitter as well. Those of you that are long-time followers of the channel, you will know that I got kicked off YouTube for a week because I posted something that they didn't agree with. Who have we got? Ryan Yard. I know that voice. I didn't know you was on Facebook, Ryan. But hello, welcome to you. Good to see you. First comment. I was a little bit worried how this was actually going to work out because this isn't the domain where we usually, rely on for most of the live streams. It's always YouTube, and the area is absolutely flooded with comments before we even start, and there's hardly any at the moment. So fingers crossed it will go all right. Hello, Roy Andrews. Good to see you. Thank you, you as well, for joining me. That's great. Yeah, I can still do live streams. It was last Thursday evening, Thursday evening a few days ago, where I managed to get myself a 1 week YouTube ban. So I can't upload, I can't do lives, I can't do anything like that for 1 week. That expires this Thursday coming, and I should be able to put more content on Friday, which I'll start recording in the middle of the week. Hello, Chris Dalton from Walsall. That's where my mum was born, which is cool. So good to see you. Roy Andrews, I am normally Surf. Oh, right, Surf. Yes, I know who you are now. Good to see you. Melanie Ambrose, hello to you. I suppose if we've got a smaller audience, I can spend a little bit more time with each of you talking. How does it sound, by the way? Is the sound all right? Are we all clear? I'll wait for you to answer that. I'll have a little slurp of this. I'm not, I'm not one to lay down and take it. If I can find a way of coming out and coming back to you and actually broadcasting, then I will do. And here I am, albeit in a bit of a reduced form. We got 10 in the live stream at the moment. If you haven't done so already, can you give it a thumbs up or a like or whatever the hell it is? Also, what I've done. Hello, Chris Hine. Good to see you. Johnny Smart as well, live from YouTube, Joe. You've got it. What I'm trying to do this week is try and grow the Facebook and the Twitter accounts a little bit for, occurrences like this, so I can get a little bit more traffic and a little bit of exposure to everything. So if you haven't done so already and you've really only just followed me on Facebook or Twitter, perhaps you can do me a favor and give them a follow. Both of those, follow or like or whatever the terminology is. I want to show you exactly what happened. Many of you probably saw this picture, pissed off, which I put on, end of last week, sitting on the naughty step. That is exactly what happened. I put a YouTube short on, and within seconds, I got my ass handed to me on a plate and said, "You're banned." And I actually received this email. This is the actual text. "Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our violent or graphic content policy. We've removed it." And it was called A Heavy Night. And what that did, that gave me what they call a community strike, which means I can't upload anything or do anything for a week. And that community strike, although my week ban will expire at the end of this week coming, that actual strike will remain with me for 90 days. A whole 90 days. Crazy, huh? And if you get 2, it's in a 2-week ban. And if you get 3, you're history. So they're quite strict with it. So we've got to, I would say we've got to watch ourselves, but I suppose we've got to be a little bit more careful than usual. Let's have another look at the comments. Absolutely average. You're in. I was just talking about you with Blood Nose in the background. But, good to see you. Richard Tyler, just found you on here. Hello, Andy. Hello, Richard. Yes, usually when I do the live streams every week, I broadcast to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Obviously, with the problems I've encountered with YouTube this week, I'm a little bit restricted to we're just on here. Smaller audience, a little bit more interaction, and we'll see how we get on. What I've got lined up this evening, I had a look through the emails, and there's a couple of emails where people have sent me a video, asked for help, and some other bits and pieces. Oh, okay. Richie Reports UK. That's Richard Tyler. Oh, yeah, I recognise your face now. Excellent. So some of the YouTube folks are actually finding me on here. That's perfect. Julie Baldwin, hello, as always. Hope you're well. Yeah, I reckon my mum will turn up in a minute. That's how this kind of thing happens. Right, what do we do first? Now, 20-mile-an-hour speed limits I want to go through. There's a video I want to show you, which I was sent, showing how ludicrous this is. Now, let's pull this up, and hopefully this will work. Yeah, there's my mum. Hi, Grumps. Hi, Mum. Hope you're all right. Yeah, this video I want to show you is entitled "A Push Bike Overtakes a Car, 20-mile-an-hour Wales." This was taken off somebody's Nextbase camera. I'll make this full screen so you can actually see. Full screen layout. And pardon the language.
Tell you what they want to do, spend the fucking money they're going to rape off everybody.
Roads, yeah.
The fucking state of them.
No, it's one of the worst roads, isn't it? Horrendous. No.
But there you go. That's how ridiculous it is. Like, fucking push bikes are.
Yeah, that's how ridiculous it is. I hope everybody saw that. The guy getting overtaken by a push bike. Exactly, Richard. Ridiculous. Now, that was 17 miles an hour the car was going. He's got one of these Nextbase cameras, and they're the same ones I've got. And as well as recording the footage, they also record all of the telemetry, how fast you go in, the direction you're going, and everything else. 17 miles an hour. Crazy. Another YouTuber, Retro on his bikes, who's on YouTube, he said recently he's in the merchant navy, spends a lot of time on the ships out to sea, and he actually docked at Wales, and he had to drive through Wales back into England and then back home to where he lives. And he was worried about the 20-mile-an-hour zones. He said he saw some, but the route he took, it wasn't too bad. But he agrees as well, you don't need to implement them because they make no difference whatsoever with the grand scheme of things. There's Retro's YouTube channel there. Thank you very much, Blood, for putting that on. I appreciate it. We have a starred comment. What's this one? Andy the Gabby Cabby, thanks to the sanity checker for replying to my comment asking about you. He pointed me in the right direction, found it odd you had the free plan videos in the communities tab, and it had an odd privacy blocker page. Anyway, Andy, you need to be extra careful for the next 90 days. Hope you're not demonetized too. No, I should be all right. I should be all right. What it is, it was literally the subject of the video that I chose to put on. I had actually 4 videos and 4 YouTube shorts lined up for that day. And the problem is when they took the actual privileges for me to upload away, I had no control over changing anything to do with anything I'd already uploaded. I couldn't change the schedules. I couldn't delete. I couldn't alter the posts. Nothing I could do at all. So I literally just had to wait and, just let it all go through and do any firefighting as and when. Another star comment, Melanie. Surely when traffic is that slow, I would have thought it would make the pollution worse. You would think so, wouldn't you? Where it's all bunched up together. Driving a lot slower, more pollution in more of an area. It don't make any sense. Now, what got me was how many people voted for this madness. And there's something I want to show you now, which was sent to me. The voting at the Senate for the 20-mile-an-hour limits. That's a rough list that was sent to me via email. It's not very large, so forgive me for that. But the long and short of it, all the fours up there are all Labour voters, and the Greens against are all Tory voters. So you can see it's very much a Labour idea that they wanted to push through. And, you know, you've got names like Drakeford and others in there that have said, yeah, we'll have some of that. And you have all the against underneath. Now, to clarify matters, I actually am okay with a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit only if it's outside somewhere like a school or sensitive areas like that where you've got youngsters running around, and maybe, you know, more care and attention may need to be taken over what's going on. And it should be limited to just that, nowhere else, because otherwise you just get a blanket load of nonsense all over the place. And I do wonder, you know, is that what's going to happen? Maybe. Yeah, Roy, that's a very good point. More people will be looking at the speed on their car display than the traffic. I have a thing, a pet hate of mine, when you drive past schools and they got these signs like little cartoon characters of different children with little signs saying, mind your speed as you drive past here. And the problem is when you drive round and you look, what you're actually doing, you're becoming distracted because you want to read the signs. And then you got the lollipop man or lollipop lady or whatever they're called these days. And inevitably you get it just don't make any sense. Don't make any sense. Richard, Tyler, those YouTube strikes are a pain. They can even apply them to videos uploaded months ago. Yeah, I had that once, Richard. It was a video I did about a police intercept in the middle of London. No problem at all. And months and months and months later, I ended up with what you would call an age restriction applied to it. So only people of a certain age could look at it. But I wasn't too bothered by that point because, as you probably know with videos yourself, they have a limited shelf life, don't they? And then the viewership will just tank. You won't get the viewing figures you did. So by that point in time, it wasn't too bad. Have you seen a petition for keeping the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit? Last time I looked, it had 4 signatures. Chris, I didn't even know there was one, to be honest with you. I know there was one for getting rid of it, and that was something like 420,000 signatures last time I looked, more than 10% of the collection of population of Wales. Stark difference, isn't there? And I did a video on YouTube where I said about the sample or the population sample they took to try and extrapolate out whether this 20-mile-an-hour speed limit was a decent idea or not. Guess what, folks? It was only 1,000 people that were sampled. 1,000. And when I Googled the population of Wales, 3.2 million. Bit of a difference, huh? And excuse me tonight. Bit of a dry throat. Keep slurping. I think that we should start collecting hay for the horses and hitch up the cart. Clive, we might get around a bit more smoothly if we did that, wouldn't we? Roy, what speed becomes safe? Where do they draw the line? Yeah, I mean, I said earlier, I agree with slower speeds outside schools and things of that nature. But do you enforce that, or is it a case of driver education, or do we need to look at the whole thing all over again? It really is a bad situation. It's allowed to get completely out of control. It really has. The next thing I want to look at is a couple of emails I've received. And the first one here was entitled Future Summit. And it was, hi, Andy, another happy subscriber here. I was perusing the UK Citizen Telegram channel this morning and found the following link. This is an extract of Theresa Kofi's speech at the Summit of the Future. Sometimes all of us get a little bit overexcited at victories, both large and small, against such things as low traffic neighbourhoods, 15-minute cities, and dare I say it, mandates. However, unless we cut off the head of the snake at various nefarious organisations, there is very little prospect of our actions making any long-term impact. Interesting to note that whilst the pandemic was a catalyst for waking many people up to the daily diet of horse shit the mainstream media were peddling, very few of us were actively aware pre-2020 to the agenda-gathering pace. Food for thought, definitely a good one to share with Jeff Buys Cars as well. Well, get the damn thing emailed to him. And what you're actually referring to, I pulled that link up on the screen so I can share it with everybody. And I'll do that with you just now. See, Blood Nose has put that in as well. Share screen. And this is taken from Telegram. Let's full screen again. So we got this video is not for the faint-hearted. So for those unable to bring themselves to watch the speech of Theresa Kofi, MP, at a preparatory ministerial meeting of the Summit of the Future General Assembly, here is the transcript. Excellencies. That worries you, that term alone. Thank you for this opportunity to set out the United Kingdom's vision for the Summit of the Future. I will make three broad comments. First, multilateralism matters more now than ever. It is the only path we have through existential global crises and the challenges arising from this time of rapid and unparalleled economic, demographic, technological, and social change. But the multilateralism we have is far from perfect. We need to be honest about the need to reform and reinvigorate a system that has served the world well, so it's more inclusive, more responsive, and more effective. Second, we must stay laser focused on transforming people's lives by achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 7 years ago. We all committed to delivering Agenda 2030, there's that name, the SDGs. At the midpoint, as we have acknowledged this week, we know that collectively we've not done enough. We know we are off track and recognise the need for change. It's time to turn our collective ambition into bolder and more urgent action. We must recommit, reform, and accelerate our efforts to end extreme poverty, protect our planet, and ensure that every person can thrive. And finally, the UK applauds the Secretary-General's work to use our common agenda to bring coherence to both the future of multilateralism, achieving the SDGs, as we agreed in the declaration, commemorating the UN's 75th anniversary. Now is the time to address challenges and gaps in global governance for the sake of present and future generations, culminating in the 2024 Summit of the Future. We support our common agenda as a vehicle that provides the opportunity to get this right, but we will only achieve this by working together. Together we can reinvigorate the multilateral system to be responsive, inclusive, and effective. Together we can turbocharge, again, to deliver Agenda 2030 and the SDGs. And we know this will take courage, conviction, and most of all, compromise from all member states. You have the UK's full support. I don't like that. Who has the UK's full support? How did they know that they have the UK's full support? Who decides that? Obviously, we don't. Crazy. Richard Butler, Jeff is certainly pushing the buttons. I'm sure someone will be after him soon by rattling all the cages. I'll tell you what, I've looked on Twitter, and Jeff doesn't hold back on there. He really doesn't. He just goes for it. He really does. And we have to be mindful of what they're saying, what they're doing, and who they're coming after. Definitely. And there is a link there to Jeff Buys Cars. It's literally youtube.com at Jeff Buys Cars. Good bloke. I was going to try and set up a live stream with him, actually. at some point in a not too distant future, but it's just trying to tie him down. He's very, very, very busy, but we'll see what we can do there, definitely. Speaking of collaborations, a couple of bits of news for you. I've had an approach today. I'm not going to tell you who just yet because it's very, very preliminary, by a major broadcaster. And, you know, someone just dropped me a random email with a suggestion or an invite to go and collaborate with them and do something. So when I get more news of that, I'll bring it to you. I'm still thinking about it and making a decision on that basis. The other thing I want to tell you about, last week, I recorded an interview with Funky Prepper. It was an hour interview. A little bit of it will be available on YouTube, and the rest will be available on his website when he gets it up and running, where he's going to let me know when that's going to go live, and I'll tell you more about that then. So a couple of decent bits of exciting news in the background. Melanie Ambrose, do you know Brown Car Guy? I've spoken to him, you know, behind the scenes. I actually have his phone number along with a couple of others. There's like a group of YouTubers who talk about all this stuff that collaborate behind the scenes. And Brown Car Guy has been very, very, very good in basically showing what bullshit the whole ULEZ scheme is, with all of the air quality testing. And he even did a video recently. I noticed the header for it. What's the situation now with the air quality? Is it any good or not? You know, I've got to watch that yet, and we will actually see what the result is. Couple of star comments we'll go through in a second, but before I do, welcome everybody to tonight's live stream. We're not on YouTube for the reasons I explained at the beginning. Hopefully that situation will rectify itself by, well, end of the week. And what I'll probably do is republish this live stream on there then as another video, so people who haven't got social media accounts here can catch up. If you haven't done so already, I see we've got 12 likes and 23 watching. It'd be nice if we can get parity with that, 23 and 23. So if you haven't done so already, give me a thumbs up. Welcome to everybody that's watching on Facebook and anybody on Twitter as well. Good to see you. Make sure you follow these social media accounts as well. And we're trying to expand our reach a little bit, and I appreciate it. Right, let's have a look at some more comments. Julie Baldwin, the Welsh petition to get rid of the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit has reached 454,478 signatures. Wow. And the one to keep it has 4 signatures. Wow. We can tell what's going on here, can't we? That's excellent stuff. Chris Dalton, Andy, on my estate, the council have bolted very thick speed cushions to the road. The local speed freaks in their souped-up courses have unbolted them and chucked them to the side of the road. This is what's happening, isn't it? People are basically saying you can bolt and you can put all the stuff in you like. We're not having it. If you know, if we don't want this stuff here, we're going to take it out of our environment. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You look at the LTNs in London, you look at the ULEZ cameras, they're just going. I mean, I saw a very defiant thing the other day saying, if you take it out, we're just going to put it back again. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see, won't we? Johnny Smart, you're not going to be famous going on the BBC. It only has 7 viewers, and they all work there watching in the back room. It ain't the BBC. I will tell you more about that at some point in the future. Mark Hampson, do you have any stand in the park meetups, Andy? Down your way, it's always good to collate information with lots of what's going on. Not that I've seen, actually. I mean, we have different community groups where there's different community interests, where people want to see different things, but nothing really like that I actively get involved in. One thing I do want to do at some point is arrange some kind of get together with fellow YouTubers. I know Russ, absolutely average, and Ryan and I have been speaking about it and try and I think me and Russ were going to head north a little bit and Ryan comes south a little bit and tell everybody where we're going to be and see if anybody shows up and we can have a bit of a meet and greet. But that's something to work out in the not too distant future. Roy, a famous YouTube person today, was telling people not to buy handheld grinders from Lidl for $34.99 to cut down the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit signs. Oh, I tell you what, the amount of helpful advice, and I've got that thing in my eye again, wink, of what not to do is quite staggering. I'd do the opposite. No, I'm not going to say it. Yeah, I know. There was somebody else online doing the same as well. Julie Baldwin, one of the GB News presenters live on air, said she's no longer going to pay for a TV license. Can you see the Ofcom complaints now? Can you really see them? I want to dig out a video very quickly. I'm not going to play it on YouTube because it's a bit long, but I want to direct you to it anyway. Let me just find it very briefly. It wasn't actually on the plan, but you just drew my attention to it. Just a link for it. I'll put this on the screen. Now, Paz49, one of my good friends from YouTube and good supporter, he actually put on his Twitter account earlier that I've been banned for a week and encouraging people to follow me. So I appreciate that, Paz, very much. Here's the link to that video as well. The sickening truth about Ofcom. And he does a very, very good, I suppose, verging on forensic examination of exactly what's going on with Ofcom, who they are, who's on the board, what they're about, and the absolute unbridled truth of it. It's really quite something. Richard Tyler, GB News might have a few vacancies going. Absolutely. I do worry about GB News. I really do. Where it's going. I mean, you look, Dan Wooten, gone. Lawrence Fox, although he was just a collaborator and contributor, gone. Calvin, gone. Bev Turner's summer in Cape Town at the moment. Not that I'm jealous, but I'm sure she'll be back. Who else have we got? Nigel Farage, not saying much at the moment. It's a bit of a, they're allowing outside influences to pull them apart, aren't they? They need to basically do this to the establishment and get on with the job that they were supposed to be doing. And it'll be interesting to see. All the time they roll over, they're going to have an awful lot of trouble, I suggest. Richard Tyler, we need to collab with Andy sometime. Sounds good to me. We'll get that sorted out. Nigel is on holiday. Okay, that explains a lot. The fact he's not said much. I don't think he's been very active overall the last couple of days either. I did look at that. Two people have been named and shamed on GB News, Gary Lineker and Carol Vorderman. She's telling all her followers to report GB News every day. Her Twitter page is full of it. Well, this recent fracas with Wooten and Lawrence Fox, they ended up with, I think it was about 7,000 odd complaints, didn't they? And the thing is, how many of those 7,000 and so complaints are actually genuine? Have they not just been mustered up by people that read something, got pissed off, and thought they'd complain about it for the sake of it? It's hardly possible. And, you know, is there a way of detecting that? June Turnbull, big media, just like Big Pharma, get a pass on all their failures. The smaller or self-financed outlets are being demanded to be CX root and branch. Big government overreach, in my opinion. Absolutely. They want to control what we hear and what we see and what we believe, don't they? It's been like it for years, and they can't handle the fact that the narrative might be swaying off elsewhere. It's Not good for them. Not good for them. Changing the subject, I want to show you a couple of things. There's a friend of the channel who did a great service and sent me a box of merchandise. There was a load of mugs and a load of T-shirts. These are the T-shirts, and I have some left. If anyone would like one, get in touch with me by email. I've been sending them out. I've literally not been asking anything at all for them, really. Just, you know, let me know, and I can tell you what sizes I've got, and if you want one. Actual normal mugs we've run out of. They've been quite popular. They've all gone. I have 3 limited edition ones left, and I'll probably just be doing giveaways to get shot of them as well, like little competitions. I got to get this box of stuff gone, and once it's gone, it's gone. And I appreciate the people that have got them already. As soon as somebody lets me know, they're in the post first class the following day. So let me know about that. Not much of a box left. Where are we? Thank you, Bloodnose, for putting the email address up. Richard Butler, anyone want to try and bid for a regional ITV franchise that would shake things up somewhere? On Channel 3, remember that auction thing they had in the early 90s? GB News Matters isn't great. Not sure what's going on. I think Talk TV will sometime merge into GB News or similar. There's too many holes in the schedule on both channels now. I'll tell you what, sometimes just for a laugh, I look at my viewing figures compared with theirs, and sometimes I scratch my head and think, what the hell's going on? I'm just a guy sitting in the garage. Doesn't always happen, but every now and again I think, oh my God. You wonder what's going on with media and guys sitting in garages. It's quite crazy. Johnny Smart Sadiq's camera vans are getting well trashed, and they set a demonstration up outside his house. Yeah, you sent me the picture of that, didn't you? Let me see if I can locate that very, very quickly while we go. I was up at Heathrow Airport this morning early, about 3 o'clock, and I did a video because I know where the ULEZ camera van sits, and I wanted to see if I could get it live on camera, but no, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It wasn't there. Spoiled my fun, but at least I could show you exactly where it was. Yeah, I found that article, Johnny. Let me just pull that up and see what we got going on here. I'm glad to see that the number of likes on this and the number of people watching are very similar to each other. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, there we go. That is apparently outside Sadiq Khan's house. No to ULEZ. And a big old demonstration to boot. So this is how people feel, and I feel it's just going to carry on, don't you? It's one of those things. But like any demonstration and like any petition, you have to wonder how much notice they will ultimately take in the long run. But again, one of those things we'll have to see. Right. I got another email, and I want to change the subject from ULEZ and everything else. Let's pull this up. This is an email from an individual that's got a problem with debt, and they approached me through email, and I assume they either watch me on YouTube or Facebook, one of the two. Hi, Andy. I watch your videos all the time. I've just been sent a letter from Lowell threatening to send bailiffs round for a debt of £3,300. I need advice and a template to send them. I'm looking after my sick mother, and I'm very upset at the moment and can't deal with this. Please help me get them off my back. I've ripped up the letter. I realise after watching your video, these scumbags won't leave me alone. Need your advice. Thank you for all your videos. I hope I can hear back from you. Well, the first thing is your mother. Your mother's classed as a vulnerable individual, in which case that takes an awful lot of sting out the tail of the bailiffs. They cannot levy distress, it's called, on on a property with a vulnerable individual in it, from my understanding. Now, the other thing you've said, £3,300. Is it a credit card? Is it a loan? Is it council tax? The rules are different depending on what kind of debt it actually is. Obviously, I suspect being Lowell, it's a credit card or a loan, because generally I don't usually see them managing things like council tax debt. That usually goes to other people. But I've shown you this site again and again, and I want to show you it now. Share screen. This is a site called Beat the Bailiffs, and they usually have a Facebook group as well. You can find it on Facebook and you can find it on Google. Just Beat the Bailiffs. The comments there. And what they have is something called the 3-letter process. And it's basically a case of maneuvering the debt collectors into a position where it's put up or shut up. Basically, you've got to prove your case. But in this instance, you've got a section here, vulnerable notification. And this will tell you all about if you've got people in the house which are vulnerable. You're talking about elderly, people with mental or physical ailments, children, all this sort of thing. And it will tell you exactly what to write, how to write. There's a vulnerable person's notification, and what to do about it. Now, I put the wrong screen on, haven't I? But it is the vulnerable person's notification. Now, if that doesn't work, then you go through the actual 3-letter process, and you have to give them 3 opportunities, basically, to put up or shut up. Now, there are those in legal circles which will poo-poo this and say it doesn't work and it's bad legal advice and everything else. But if you follow this to the letter, even if it does go to court, what you've done, you've asked them multiple occasions to prove that money is owed. And if they can't, it creates a condition. I think it's called irreversible estoppel or something like that. It's some kind of Latin legal thing, which basically means they ain't got a leg to stand on. The information in there I've used 3 to 4 times personally. I know it works because it's worked every time. I have a situation at the moment which isn't debt. It's a loan or credit card. It's a private parking company wants to take me to court for apparently not paying for inadvertently parking on an area. I filed a court defense using the information on there. I've not heard from them. So, the stuff they put on there is very, very powerful. And I'll bring an update to YouTube when hopefully I see that case get struck off. So you know what's going on. Well, we got 24 in the chat, which I'll be honest is more than I was expecting. And I appreciate you coming to see me. We've got 18 likes. So if you haven't done so already, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not following me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you're over on there as well. Please consider doing so if you've got an account set up. It's good to see you, and I appreciate it. Let's have a look at some of these comments again. Oh, you can hear I'm struggling with my voice this evening. Roy Andrews, I switched from Scottish Power to British Gas. I was a prepayment customer. They are calling me 3 times a day for a £300 bill. Even though I'm prepay, they won't leave me alone. Roy, Citizens Advice, have you tried them? Try and get them to take the case on your behalf. I remember some of the earlier emails you sent to me regarding this. I think you need someone else to intervene, because they should, if there's a debt there, they should have loaded that onto the meter and you pay it off along with your current balance. That's the whole idea of the damn things. I had one. They were a nuisance. Lowell are parasites. They buy debts for pennies and hound you for the amount. I'm glad you see them for what they are, Chris. A lot of people don't. They tried this with me for a debt that was 7 years old. The debt is statute barred after 6 years. Correct. I mean, you can turn around and say the debt's statute barred, go away. But the problem is what they do when they buy the debts. They will do things like falsify recent bank entries and all this sort of thing, and therefore resetting the statute barred clock. because when something's statute barred and it gets to 6 years, it means it hasn't been acknowledged or serviced in any way, shape, or form by you for 6 years. You just ignore it as if it never existed. And, you know, you need full disclosure of all their information to prove literally it's not statute barred. And generally, they come to the idea themselves. Mark, how's your boy Jack doing, Andy? Keeping busy with school things? He certainly is. I mean, he's 10 years old now. I do keep him off of here, really, where things are progressing and moving on. He's growing up pretty bloody quick. We're looking around secondary schools now. We've got another open day tomorrow evening at Hartsdown School, which is where I went back in the day. I'm not overly keen on that, but hopefully we will see. Just see if I can find a recent picture of him, or fairly recent. I don't think I've got one come to hand straight away. No, I don't. I'll have to try and dig a picture of him out another time to see how he's getting on. But thank you for asking, Mark. Yeah, when I first started doing the live streams, I used to have him on here quite regularly, but not so much now. They say they leave you alone after 6 years. I get a company chasing. Poor choice of words, Roy. What I mean is legally they can't take any action against you after 6 years. What they'll generally do is give up, and then they'll sell the debt onto another company who will chase you again. But after the 6 year point, personally, I ignore them. If I know it's 6 years, throw the bloody thing in the bin. But, you know, they do try it. I mean, you're talking about data protection problems and all that sort of stuff after that point, definitely. Can I have a show of hands? How many people actually had Facebook accounts anyway? Can you give me a 1 if you did, or a 2 if you didn't? Just try and get a gauge of who was on here anyway. I mean, I've had a Facebook account for donkey's years. It's good for keeping in contact with family, really. 3. Yeah, pretty much all you did by the looks of the watching tonight. There's a couple of names in that list I've not said hello to. Hello to you. And I hope you're all well. Appreciate you coming along this evening. I mean, usually we get, well, lately we've been getting 250 to 300 people across everything. But obviously not tonight because it's a smaller audience who don't usually use this. Breaking news. Dan Wootton has been sacked. Contract terminated. Wow. I bet that's plastered all over BBC. No, it's not actually. That surprises me. I thought they'd be the first to stick the boot in. Where have you found that, Julie? Bring it up on the screen so we can share it. No, I'm not getting anything. I've got where Dan Wootton ended their contract. Sorry, the Daily Mail ended their contract with him. It's on your Facebook page. Okay, give me a second. I'll go and have a look, see if I can find that. Or can you send me the link to your private, to the admin group? Yeah, the old muff wash van. I saw that earlier. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I got your thing there. Let's see if I can find it. No, I'm not seeing it, Julie. If you can send me the link to it. Free speech, no. Oh, right. Okay. Speech. I'm not a member of Free Speech Nation, which means I can't get in and get that link. So if you could do that for me, he'll probably go back to Talk TV. He was there before GB News started. Okay. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Tice moved over, didn't he, to GB News? Probably interchangeable. You never know. You never know. But yeah, what I'm doing for the rest of the week, I mean, obviously we've got Monday, tomorrow, start of another week. I'll try and do a couple of videos here and there to bung on Facebook and Twitter and maybe Instagram, just so you can see I'm about and what I'm up to. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to start preparing for the YouTube return on the Friday. And I plan to do double the amount of videos I usually do, just to, well, come out of a bang, and also give the channel a little bit of a boost. Because the problem is, when you stop publishing it, the trick with YouTube, you've got to be consistent all of the time. Otherwise, your views and your subscribers and everything suffer. So I plan on doing a bumper load of videos at the end of the week, which I'll record over the Wednesday and the Thursday to go out on the Friday once the upload ban has been lifted. Richard, I do have a Rumble account, which I have set up, but I've not really done anything with it yet. I was a little bit concerned about Rumble, actually, because one of the things that they have with Rumble is a YouTube channel sync. So what you can do, you can connect your YouTube channel up, and then you can synchronize all of your videos back to a certain date across to Rumble. And I thought, wouldn't that be handy as a backup? Just pull the whole bloody lot across. And then I suddenly got to thinking, would this be bad for my YouTube channel, as in views? So I did a bit of research, and there was a video that came up with a guy who said that his YouTube stats absolutely, well, tanked after he did it. And I thought, that's interesting. So I thought, I'm going to stop until I know more. Let's see if I can find this. Rumble YouTube channel sync, is it safe? Yeah, I found the video straight away. I'm going to play this. It's 3 minutes long. Yeah, is it a bad idea? And see what this is. See what you make of this. It's handy information if you do have a Rumble channel.
This is just a quick video for anyone who's considering syncing their YouTube account over on Rumble. Rumble's sort of one of those things that's popped up, sort of semi-popular, depending on the circle you're in. But a lot of people are probably thinking of syncing over there just to get a bit of a head start in case Rumble actually becomes a big thing. So you may want to reconsider doing this, because I recently done it on a secondary channel just to see how things go, and it seems like YouTube has either shadow banned me or dropped me off the algorithm. So I'll just go through some stats and we'll see what it looks like. So this is my secondary channel. It was going pretty good. This is about a month and a half, close to 2 months work. It's not too bad considering. So if we go to YouTube Studio and just look at some of the statistics here, like everything's still looking quite well, all the standard stuff. But if we look a little bit further into it, so if we go into the analytics, we can see, so going quite well. Then here on the 7th, I synced the account over on Rumble. And obviously Rumble takes a few days to get everything across, sometimes a bit longer. And then all of a sudden, there's a massive hit, basically dropped back to 0 almost at some stages. So pretty obvious, really. Could be a coincidence or not, but the content's pretty stable. I'm still uploading about the same. Same thing happened to watch hours. Subscribers pretty much the same. So you can see straight across the board, everything has been tanked. So pretty much all the statistics are like this. The video is all flatlined. like I said, coincidence, but I really do think Rumble is possibly a bit of a threat to Google, and I think they're trying to make sure people don't abandon ship. So I've just recently deleted the channel over on Rumble and unlinked Rumble to my Google account and YouTube, so it doesn't have access anymore. So I'm hoping that YouTube realizes this and puts me back how things were. If not, we'll just tough our way through it. But yeah, so this is just a bit of a heads up. If you are considering it, I would probably hold off. If you've got a big channel or a really big channel and you don't rely on the algorithm and search so much, it's probably not a big deal. But if you need YouTube's algorithm, YouTube search, and all the other features of YouTube to promote yourself, probably not the best idea. Anyway, I hope that guide helps you. If you do have any more info or any more experiences with this, make sure to drop something in the comments. I wouldn't mind having a read to see how other people have gone. And if you found this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, I had a look at the comments from that guy's video, and yes, there are some people under there that had the problem also, so he wasn't alone. Now, there is a lot of beef between YouTube and Rumble at the moment, so there may be something with it. So for now, I turned off that synchronization just till I learn more. But as you said, Richard, you know, you've got to upload some things manually, and I probably will stick some things on there every now and again because I'm quite intrigued at, you know, what it is, and perhaps I'll have more of a free a free tongue than I do on YouTube. I might be able to say a little bit more, like put dog videos on there that got me in trouble in the first place. You never know. Crazy, huh? A couple of extra comments here. Enormous amount of government overreach demanding that the output from certain persons be CX very bad for free speech. Absolutely. It's all this damn online safety bill, isn't it? Stephen Connor, not long now until you're released from the YouTube cooler. Absolutely, it's better than Facebook Zuckerberg Penitentiary by a long chalk, as some of my more outspoken friends have found. Yeah, I think they're a little bit more adverse over here. June, where did the dopey dog video come from? It was actually on Twitter. I found it. I just found it amusing. And I thought, well, I'll see if anybody else finds it amusing as well. And I just went with it. This is what Julie found. Just show you this. Breaking. Dan Wootton has been sacked by Mail Online. A spokesperson said his contract has been terminated. So that's breaking news this evening. It's not GB News, it's Mail Online. So yeah, so I do wonder how long of this world he will be with GB News as well. That could be very interesting. We'll see what happens. Right, let's have a look at some other comments, and then we'll look at wrapping proceedings up for this evening because we're getting near the hour. Is the date right on that post? The one I just put up, Richard? Let's have a look. (28th of September). So, yeah, a few days ago. So it's not exactly breaking news. Yeah, I'm with you. Roy Andrews, JP reacts, does well by using say, one word for say life jacket. Uses a lot of word changing. Yeah, absolutely. German, I found one of a roasted dog being brought to the table with an invite to join him for roast dog and beer. I think I know which one was the more distasteful of the two. Yeah, and I bet the one I put up is the one they found more distasteful. I mean, that's what got me with the whole situation. There are certain individuals who inhabit YouTube, which quite simply shouldn't be on there. There are certain videos that inhabit YouTube, which quite certainly shouldn't be on there. I make a well, what I considered to be an attempt at humour turns out to be a bit of a clanger, and I end up getting slung off. Go figure. It doesn't work. Not fit for purpose. I mean, one thing I've been discussing over the last few days in the background, their creator support, which you get access to when you get a certain amount of subscribers, apparently isn't fit for purpose. It's a bit of a joke. It really is the best way I can describe it. They have heavily scripted answers to certain questions. They won't deviate. There's no flexibility. They won't help. And it's all very much algorithmic controlled. And if you make a mistake or there's a problem on any of it, forget it. You're toast. I mean, for 2 days, I argued solidly, and it was no use. And I was getting quite stressed. It was a very stressful beginning of the week. Richard Butler, that's sacked from the Daily Mail, which was known, although it's a story to watch, particularly when there was some controversy a few weeks ago with Dan. Yes, I remember that. And he went on and denied the whole thing. Said it's a bit of a stitch up, didn't he? June, who hasn't been to a pub in the past and seen a regular and his dog both been given a beer? Absolutely, that's normal life, isn't it? Hello, Andy. Hope all's well. I'm good, Adam. Hope you're as well as you can be. Good to see you on here. Right, folks, I'll be honest, my voice is starting to fail me. I'm not sure how much longer I can talk. So at 57 minutes, I think we're going to call it a day. I want to thank everybody. I've actually had more on here than I thought I would, because I wasn't sure what percentage of people come over from Facebook to actually join me and have a natter this evening. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Julie, don't worry. That's great. No problem at all. There's my moderator in the background, shoving the comments up. Have a great night, everyone. Love Blood Nose. Thank you very much. Thank you for putting the live on here, Andy. That's absolutely no problem whatsoever. At least I still have the ability to do that. Richard Tyler, see you later. See you, well, back in our normal home next week. Clive, good night, Andy. Hope the voice gets better. I started getting croaky before I came out. It was ridiculous. Mum, good night. I'll see you when I do. Yeah, if you haven't done so, we've got near parity with a thumbs up. We've got 27 watching, 24 thumbs up. So if you haven't, just give it one of those on the way out. Hot tea and honey for the voice. I'll do that, Adam. Thank you. Good night, Andy, and all in the chat. Look after that sore throat. Sleep well and peacefully. Thank you, Melanie. Thanks for all the kindness and love and generosity. You know, really appreciate it. I'm gutted personally that this has happened this week, but it's just one of those things. We move on. So I'll get a couple of bits on Facebook over the next couple of days. Make sure you follow. And, you know, I'll start recording the YouTube stuff Wednesday and Thursday to go out Friday, which I know I'll be back. I think the upload ban actually finishes on Thursday evening. So I'm not going to set up Thursday evening uploading. I'll do it from Friday morning. Thank you, Melanie. Thanks, Chris, as well. Thank you to everybody. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be on kind of over the next couple of days, and full service resumed at the end of the week. Anyway, I'm off. I'll see you when I do. Toodaloo.